It's sad. You gotta scratch days, dates, years. You gotta scratch everything off, man, when you're dealing with this stuff, man, with this lottery, man. That's just how bad it is, man. A person can jump right on your page and won't say this was a very special number, man. Texas, you got it. All right. It could have been anybody's state. Could have been anybody's state, actually. So it's like I say, man, these numbers gonna come and these numbers are going to go. Y'all had me maybe to 750. All right, man. Happy hump day. All right. Don't forget, guys, we are jumping into pick fives. I just looked at Ohio. Ohio, you have something on your hand for midday. I'm gonna write some numbers down. You got eight, and the numbers are eight, 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 eight. And you was now tuned into the Ohio's lottery pick five winning drawing. So Ohio, I don't know. I do not know. Don't jump on me. I am just the messenger. All right, 88. We're gonna give Ohio 88. What is that number? 88108. These numbers are for Ohio midday. And if you like them in any other state, do play them. All right, do play these numbers in any other state. Just because I'm up here talking to a certain state, man. How you talking to a certain state? Bro? You talking to a certain state? Who was the certain state, bro? You don't talk to certain states, brother. But y'all know what I'm saying. So if you like these numbers in your state, play them. Now, five eights, Jesus Christ. Do you think so? Let's see. What do you think so? Do you think so? Five eights, can it come out? Anybody want to give me the day digit numbers on that and see, can we just slide it in? Does it relate? Today is the 24th, man. I almost hit a number yesterday in DC. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Keep this number in the nation's capital, 0025. I remember working with a young lady, man. Her name was Gail Maxfield, the thoroughest woman other than my mother and a few of my aunts that I have could have known. These was her last digits of of her phone number, and I remember working at Walter Reed, and she was just so cool. I don't know what it was about her that she just trusts me so much. She worked with my mom, right? And I guess man, when your parents set like a great example wherever they worked at, and their kids come, and my mother was like, "Don't tell everybody, that you're my son, because sometimes retaliation, how that stuff can go." But I think Gail was the only one that knew that was my mom because she had already let her know, right? So Gail would just say, "Hey, man, go to my locker and get a few dollars. I'm busy right now. Walk up to the store and play my numbers for me." And she would always do it. And I'd be like, "Gail, what you doing?" "Well, I'm going to go to the gym." And I'd be like, "Oh, okay." And Gail had two lockers, man. One full of uniforms and one just full of junk. And when I opened up her locker, and I'm gonna tell you how thorough Gail was. Gail really didn't have her lock wasn't really all the way locked up. She was just like pull the second locker next to my main one and open it. And I'm talking about maybe $120 loosely, just loose, like fives laying around. And long story short, Gail hit the number, and I remember Gail giving me $100. So she never said that the number came out, right? But I put two and two together. She was like, "Hey, put this in your pocket. It's something for you." And Gail was like the thoroughest woman, man. And just looking at her during her time, you can tell, her coming up. She was around some money. I think Gail was over there. Gail was over there in Mayfair, if I'm not mistaken. All the guys used to try to talk to her, and I used to always look like I always used to wonder. This you, Ohio, we're gonna keep you at this. I used to always wonder, like, what was the issue? Guys would walk past me, they'd grit on me, and I'd be like, "Hey, how you doing today?" And they just be like, "What the fuck? What's wrong?" So one day, my mother, she pulled me to the side. She was like, "I ain't, Gail, good peoples, but Gail, don't." I was like, "Mom, what's going on? You don't want people thinking you and Gail going with each other." I was like, "Nah, mom, ain't like, no, Gail is a pretty woman, and you pretty fairly young man. You don't want people." I was like, "Nah." She said she take me as a son. Me and her son is probably the same age. "Nah, I'm just telling you what I know." Just then I thought about it. So one day, me and Gail, we hanging, man, and somebody said something to her, and she was like, "Negro, you don't have enough money for me. I'm not." Man, you had the same job. Now, Walter Reed, you had HVACs, you had engineers, you had housekeeping. And she was like, "I don't, I was like, "Damn, Gail, why you?" "No, I'm serious. You can't, me and him doing the same thing." I was like, "So," and then she go to tell me, she like, "Man, man, and these was her words, man. She said, "Man, I dated big boys." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I got you. I mean, that's, they can't do nothing for me. We get the same paycheck." So I'm looking at, I'm like, yeah, I know she ain't telling no story. I mean, because I mean, you could look at Gail and tell, like, then when she just started going down, like, man, she was like, I normally was dealing with those letter passer type guys, man. You know what that's about. So I was like, yeah, I got you. Yeah, she stood on that. She stood on that, man. We can walk around the hospital, man. All the fellas, what's up? You gonna let me take you out, baby? And she stopped playing with me, and I'm like, oh my God. So but in our generation, and however it is, you can hang with a person all day. First thing somebody won't holler, man, they messing with each other. And that never was the case, man. She took me as a son, but keep this number in DC. I told y'all this once before. Actually, I did, and the number came out last year. But keep this number in. I peeked at that Malongo's magic window yesterday after I got finished talking to y'all, and this number is definitely poking out. And actually, today, if today is the 24th, y'all do know y'all digit numbers, man. Look, I'm not gonna keep. Well, you said that before, so now you got to prove it to us, bro. But y'all should know your digit numbers if you don't know. Today is the 24th. I could lead you somewhere already. We already dealing with a 7 today, right? So this, these numbers right here, DC, we still down for 601. You definitely got to keep 601 in now. I don't care what it is, man. Just try to win it, guys. Shout out to Brother Manroof, man. Manroof is the guy. Y'all better go ahead and go to his page too. Brother Manroof said he hit 887 in DC. Ah, that number was overdue at 11:30. Yeah. But y'all go to his page, man, Brother Manroof. You might want to switch it up just a little bit, bro. We know you like to do your fishing, but man, throw some of them numbers out. Yeah, man. And congratulations to you. You saying only 160, man. 160 is a lot of money, man. It's somebody waking up this morning crawling to next payday. Want to ask somebody so bad, "Hey, Slim, can I hold like 40?" But they so scared that somebody won't talk about them. So, man, it's not how much you win, it's what you can do with it, right? And yeah, man. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, do not drink and drive. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. This 250th anniversary, man, this stuff, man, it's some new rules that done kicked in, man. They pulling people up from damn near 27 years ago, 30 years ago. If you had a DUI, man, and you might have thought you got away, just be prepared. Hopefully, man, they won't get a hold to you. Just like my folks told me, man, and I'm still kind of like riding that wave from last week. I'm still on that last week high. And he was like, "Hey, bro, guess what, bro?" He was like, "Man, uh, folks reaching out, man, and they got like 250 people in mind that that they might be releasing." So I say, also, damn, the 250 stuff is a whole thing. It's just not about we celebrating, you know, uh, this United States type thing, and when was the world born and all that, and however they see it. But yeah, and it comes with some good and some bad, man. So if you know anybody, man, I mean, I know we had a 4th of July on the way. Man, get in the Uber, man. Don't I know you want to ride with your windows down. Y'all still do that? Ride around the block about 5 times when y'all get a car or something. Y'all do anybody still do that stuff? We used to do that in the city, man. Well, no, well, no. I had a cousin, man. He was known for it. He was known for it, man. And he'll get in the car, and then the lean was just so funky, man. I just used to be like, Jesus Christ, man. But that's everybody thing, man, when somebody get a new car. But in this society now in 2026, man, car not even an issue no more, man. People buying cars, man. If you know a car, they like really frowned upon it. Yeah, once upon a time, you can get a car, man. You could swear up and down. A sister or bruh was the thing. But man, now with these auctions, man, these auctions done cut out the middle. I mean, hey man, you the man when you can go to the auction and pull that stuff off the lot cash. I mean, that's when you know you're doing something. But no shots at car notes. Shout out to everybody with good credit can go to the car lot and grab something. But cars is just not the new wave, man. I'm sorry to let anybody know. I mean, that's just coming from me. You probably have people, who's just really getting into the car game and love vehicles, but it's it if I had the money right now, and say if I had the money right now, what's vehicles like that gets everybody thrill? I don't even know, because you can give me anything. You can get, matter of fact, I want one. If I'm gonna try to find me one, I want me a Ford Taurus. I want a Taurus wagon, man. I don't know why I've been wanting one of those so bad. It was on my mind probably maybe for like a whole year. I was talking to one of my homeboys, man, and I was like, it was very rare you saw Ford Taurus. It was just a few of them, and when you used to see them, you had some with the ski racks, man. You knew a few Ford Taurus in the cities. They was up to no good. Like, actually, if you see a Ford Taurus, or you saw like a wooded LTD or something with all that wood on it, man, and you so happen to have your Eddie Bauer or something on, those wasn't those wasn't the wagons that you really wanted to see early in the morning, to be honest with you. But it was just something about the Ford Taurus. Um, I'm trying to remember, man. Somebody had a black one. I'm trying to remember. I don't never recall me being in a Taurus wagon, but I think one time, and I was like, man, these vehicles drive so smooth, man. They drive so smooth. And I'm hoping I can run into one of them, because I'm definitely gonna get it. What's going on, man? I'm famous. All right, that sounds like a winner, man. I appreciate you, man. But yeah, the Ford Tauruses, man, those was the vehicles, man. You either had to duck when you seen one. I mean, you didn't have to, but I always used to say, man, the Crown Victorias was the Funky Jones, man. You saw one of them early in the morning, whether you going to the store before school, and you happen to have on the Eddie Bauer or something, you was in trouble, right? Um, I had a few Eddie Bowers I could have grabbed, but I chose to have sense, man. It wasn't no need. I did have like a low key Eddie Bauer, right? It was one of those, they was a little lighter without all the fur. And I remember we had a wave in high school, and I'm a shout out somebody, man. I'm about to bounce, guys. Get ready to go give me a workout in. We was wearing like the low version Eddie Bowers, right? It was winter, but we was wearing shorts with long johns, right? And I remember having a pair of blue and white Deion Sanders. Going to Roosevelt, um, and that's what we was doing. I was like, what? I wonder what, because we had to get it from somebody, but that's what we was doing in high school, right? But we'll all meet up in the restroom, smelling like urine, gambling, and that's what we was doing. And we had a wave, and when I see it now, I'm like, damn. So this coming back. This damn near 30 years ago. I'm like, this is coming back. This coming back. So the Eddies, man, was just like it basically was like you was committing suicide, man, if you wasn't ready. If you really wasn't ready for it. And then back in the day, you had some guys, they'll let their girls drive the vehicle and they'll be leaned back and all you can see is like the fur, right? And you might be having some guys pulling up on a car saying, "Oh damn, look at the broad in the car." But when homie raised up, you be like, "Oh damn, damn." So I want to give a shout out to one of the great guys, man. A DC native, DC stable, man. We call him, if you hear about him, Ronnie, man, and that's what somebody will say. First things somebody will say is when you mention Ronnie name, they'll say, "You talking about Ronnie with all the cars?" I'm talking about when you hear stories about other guys, and I had to think about it, right? Because I know that these guys were so young during that time because I was a child myself, right? But Ronnie, he was like a pioneer in Northwest Washington, D.C. when it came to cars, man. When you talking about MPVs, because I'm on this guy page from New York, and I got to give a shout out. I forget the brother name, but y'all can ram through the page like some of the lottery gurus do, run through the page and snatch my numbers. Do that, right? But this guy from New York, his definition of fashion is so refreshing. It really lets you know there's no difference between DC and New York. See, but when you talk about DC and New York, you got to remember you can talk about the grimy dressers, or you can talk about the dressers who was getting money. Now, this brother posting Coochie sweaters, MPVs, Hirachis, Andre Agassi's, Versace, and I'm like, damn, bro, that's that 90 92 era stuff. What you doing? I had to give him some money. Please keep up the good work. Please keep up the good work. Barani, white MPV, and this was the first one in DC that I know of that I have been in. A white MPV, with white classics with the ski rack on top. And then to top it off, I just went through down memory lane. When you was talking about USA Polo, diamonds in the ear, that was him. He he set the stage when it came to cars in Northwest Washington, D.C., to my knowledge. Wasn't scared to drive them at all. He'll park them around any hood by way of Morton Street, by way of Lamont Street. Was not scared to drive them. Some guys used to get cars and they'll tint it out and, they'll park their cars maybe if they had to go somewhere, maybe 4 blocks, but nah, he was hopping out his vehicles, man. Wasn't scared to drive them. So with that being said, man, 0025 in the nation's capital. Do not drink and drive, ladies and gentlemen. Bite your fingers. If you gotta go get your tag renewed, I think you better hurry up. But if you don't, you might as well get ready to go out 2041. Matter of fact, one of y'all probably get ready to go out there anyway. Y'all gonna hit the number. Y'all gonna fly out there anyway to the big check, take his cash. But I mean, they doing it for a good cause, man. Norcane, I think that's the stuff that bring you back. They got like big vending machines for that, for those who just want to still chase that high. Like they getting some AM pack, and you know all you getting is fentanyl. Why are you still chasing AM packs, man? I mean, w- anybody still doing that is just playing with their life, man. Party with the Stars, Gucci, Revenge, all that stuff is gone. What are you looking for, man? Stop playing with your life. Young men, stop playing with your life, man. I know you heard the stories, man. Oh man, Shawty, you hear some of this, man. The girls, man, they on, man. I'm trying to tell you, Shawty, man. Man, you see our baby girl and won't leave me, man. You looking like, oh yeah. I'm like, so I'm telling you, see. Man, man, she gonna get her slim all day, and this man, don't chase